Give it about,
There we go.
okay.
Today was the day my granddaughter was supposed to go to Unifield Village.
Okay, I'm coming. I'm coming to class. Coming to class, teacher.
She wants to be a
Couldn't
tail
make these
twister.
aisles wider too.
Okay, where's that sign up sheet, everybody? Where is it? Come to rest. Back here? Back here. Everyone's got their.
Dude, you have fun following her.
name on it?
Signing.
Doesn't have hers on it yet. Everyone signed in here? She is. I signed it. You signed in here, you're all signed up. Okay, very good. Do our housekeeping duties here. Okay, you should be in room 75, lion taming and tail twisting. How many are repeat attenders here? Does that mean you failed last time? Okay,
No.
good. It's good to have you back. And if you're new, it's good to see you here today. This workshop's a little bit different than the others. It's a hands-on, it's not look at a PowerPoint. It's hopefully entertaining you and entertaining your thoughts and getting you thinking about your club and what you can take back to them and the fun that you can have. The tail twister is one of the oldest original officers in Lions. And we go back 103 years, 104 years now. And so it was significant back then. It was determined there was a need for it, and by great powers that be. And I think great clubs today have tail twisters. You don't have to have a tail twister. You all know that. It's not required. But to me, the tail twister makes the difference between having a great club and just having a club. We've all been to things that is pretty staid and dry and sit in the chair and this and this happens the same time every week, the same way. And then you go away and say, oh, what was that? Okay, another meeting I went to. And so hopefully you will take away from this experience today some fun and some ideas, and also it's a great time to share. There's nothing better than sharing. How many of you are currently tail twisters? One is, okay. How many are currently lion tamers? You do too. You're the tamer, Johnsy, right? Okay, we're gonna quickly go up and down the row, starting here. Would you give us your first and last name and the club that you're with and the office you're going to be handling for your club and what you hope to take away today?
Oh, goodness.
Name?
Lori Baca,
Club?
Serial City Lions,
Oh, Serial City, good.
and I'll be Lion Tamer as of July.
As of July, you're gonna be the new twister. Good for you, good for you.
Sean White from the Eye Openers. I'm some member.
You're gonna be on the board of directors.
Oh, yes.
Barb won't let you forget. Barb won't let you forget. Kelly?
I'm Kelly Libby and I'm going to be tail twisters of our
Are
club.
you really? You're gonna be tail twister? That is great. Welcome, Kelly.
Thanks.
Kelly just put on a fabulous district convention. How many were there? Yeah. Wasn't it great? Give her a hand. Okay, Margie?
Margie Walsh from Iowa. And I'm not even my special this year.
You're just here. You're just here. You got the year off? Watch out. They'll
I
raise you.
reached the age where I think I can have a year off.
Okay. Well put.
My name is Betty Hall, and I live southeast West. And I'm hoping to bring the concept of self-care to.
You haven't had a tail twister yet, right?
No.
Good for you. That's
Right now,
wonderful.
I am a membership chair, but I'm hoping to bring the self-care to our.
And you know, they kind of go hand in hand. We have people who come to our club and see the fun that's going on. That's how we picked up Denise Owens, who manages the Jackson County Fair. She says, I never knew the Lions had fun. I'm joining. So there's a little trick to that too. Well, good for you. Barb.
I'm Barbara Ray, and I've had most of the offices in my club, but this coming year I'm gonna do the newsletter.
You are. Oh, that's wonderful. Barb has great writing skills and
Oh, my God.
organization skills. You do. I'm just impressed. That's great.
I'm Jackie Hunter, I'm with the Iowa Fairs, and I'm the assistant to it.
You're the assistant. Okay, that's good.
Kathy Bliss, Cascade Lions. I'm new to Lions, so I will be tail twisting with Chauncey.
Oh, you're a new lion. Welcome. That's great.
I'm Tanya Neely, I'm with them. And I am on the board of directors, and I just wanted to find some more fun things to try to do with the club.
Good
But
for
I
you.
have my tail twister that does a great job
Right here. She's been,
and stuff,
see
but I'm just
her a
trying to
lot.
find more fun things to
that's
help
great.
her out.
That's great.
I'm Lion Brent from the Ashley Lions Club. That's about 35 miles north of Lansing in District 11 C2. Currently the president of that club, and I'm going to be the tail twister next year. So
Oh,
start
that's
July
great.
1st.
That's great. You're gonna drive me crazy. That's good.
You know it.
And we're gonna have this wonderful gentleman here introduce himself.
Hi, I'm Roger Bossi. I'm the Global Leadership Team Coordinator for this district, and so I appreciate all of you coming tonight.
So lucky to have him. Amazing person. How many of you know Roger personally? Yes, you know very well. And he's like, did you know who Wally is? Well, he's got a dog named Wally that's white with spots and looks like a torpedo. Occasionally, he sends me pictures of Wally. Very cool dog. Yeah. Very cool. Okay, well, we're gathered here, and the first thing I want to make a serious point of is that, think about your club. Do you have a tail twister? Are they functioning okay? Where in the agenda is your tail twister put? How many meet every week? How many meet every other week? How many meet once a month? How many don't meet in summer? Yeah, there's all different types of schedules going on. It's very important that the tail twister is placed in an advantageous position in order to realize all the good things a twister can do for a club. When I think this is my 11th year of putting on this workshop, and I haven't in the past couple years had this situation occur, but I did every year prior to that. Tail twisters would tell me why they were here, what they wanted to take home. And when we got to this part of where are you in the agenda for your club, that tells you how important that position is valued, believe it or not. And considering what a tail twister can do for a club. And I have had numerous tail twisters say, I'm at the very end. When everything's done and people are getting up to leave, I get to go on. And I'm prepared, I bought things, tail twisters, spend a lot out of pocket. And yet my club's walking out, and everything that I put into making this a fun 5 to 8 minutes is kind of a slap in the face. So what you do, and our club's wonderful about that, they value tail twisting and always have, is go to your board and ask them, if you're at the tail end, is anybody dealing with that in their club? Nobody is? You okay? If you're at the tail end, ask them if they would consider placing you differently in the agenda. It's not a big deal. Really, it isn't. And see what they have to say and be sure you have reasons why. And actually, it can increase membership. It really can, if you're doing a good job at tail twisting. So be sure you get that figured out with your club. Let's start with your board. Also with your board, when I first came to Jackson Holes, my dad was a 55-year Jackson Holes Lion. And after he passed in '06, I was invited to join by Pete Shelby and Don Varblo and Jerry Stetler. The three of them were all pilots. I felt really lucky. I just flew right in. And they're wonderful, wonderful lions. And anyway, when I joined the club, I was still teaching school. Yeah, how am I gonna do this? And the very first thing I was asked to do was be program director. That means have a speaker lined up every week, because we meet every week. And I'm thinking, okay, from Western High School. So it worked out. I did it, and then I would get another lion to introduce that lion for me, because I couldn't be there until I retired in '09. So little things you have to take care of, but would you please open your folder? This is your folder to keep. This is your tail twister folder that I've put together, and I add some new things every year. On the left-hand side is tonight's agenda and what we want to cover, along with several outlines. We're not going to read through them all because you can all do that yourself in your spare time. We may take a look at a few of them. And then on the right-hand side is a tablet. The way I function in tail twisting is every weekend as I get ready for Monday, it takes me about an hour. It's like a lesson plan. I start right here on my tablet. And here's a little hint for you. This tablet should take you through a year, if not, just add another one on. But right at the top, I put TT and then the date. Then I skip down, put number 1, birthdays. That's the first thing we take care of every Monday. Who had a birthday? Who's got one coming up? Maybe nobody has one. And then I'll do a number 2, 3, 4, 5. Make it real easy, quick to see. Just headings. And to cover what we're going to do that day. Then on the back that day, I'll make little notations. Maybe somebody said something I want to revisit next week. Maybe there was something funny that happened. And then page 2 is next Monday. And that's how I keep track. And then you've got a history of what you did. And you can refer back as to when you did something. You can refer back to the birthdays. You can refer back to what you were doing at a certain time. It's a good little history for it. And then put that aside for the next year and put in a new tablet. And put the date on. Also, you're going to see on that right-hand side, I love this. A tail twister. My sister found this for me, and my sister, that's out in the cars in green. For Christmas, she's always getting Dunkin' Donut cards and putting them in the Christmas sock. Well, Dunkin' has this cool thing going on where they'll take a picture. So I got a Dunkin' Donut card with this lion on it. And Dunkin' Donuts says, whoa, where did that come from? I said, whoa, I'm not telling. I got another one that actually has the Lions logo on it. So keep that in mind if you're doing gifts for somebody with lions. You can use that with Dunkin', and they put out a real nice product that way. Also, you're going to see a little brightly colored card stuck in there. That's just a little hand grab.
Did you say they make cups or they make cards?
Gift cards.
Really?
Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah.
Huh. That's pretty sharp.
It is. And this is just a little quick grab in your hand. Just some highlights of tail twisting to remember here. Wear a tail. Do I wear a tail? It's right there resting right now, so you won't trip over it. I have 2 of those. They're 9 feet long. My sister's friend sewed those for me about 12 years ago. And they're still going strong, and I washed them for the 100th anniversary. We had Jerry Stetler, who owned a dry cleaning business in our club. And I used to ask him, are you going to dry clean my tail for me? He says, nope, I'm not doing it. But it goes in the dryer and the washer very easily. But you see, you can get tails anywhere. You can make them up. You don't have to wear a tail. But the tail twister needs to stand out in the club. That's why you should all have your hat on right now. Hats on. There you go. And wear that to your next meeting when you are the tail twister. You should stand out. You should be noticeable. You should be famous for thinking outside the what? Box. You should be famous for causing cool chaos in your club. That's your job. And can I help you?
You can carry it.
Okay, as we continue looking through here, keep a birthday calendar, have a few whoopee cushions. I've become kind of famous for those. I have bought them all out right now in Jackson. There are only two right now, and they work. And I've been using these at Jackson Host off and on for about 5 years. When they least suspect it, as they're sitting down, we hear a nice noise. Everybody still gets a kick out of it. So you don't want to overdo it, but when they least expect it, just slip one in there. But you got to position it right. Don't put it in the center. You got to position it on the right side or the left, because that's where the pressure comes. Otherwise, it'll be silent. And then the joke's on you, okay? Down here, we've got start a Lion's Paw. Lion's Paw was my idea for Jackson Host. After my dad passed away in '06, and I had seen all the time he had given to Lions and contributed, there was never any card or anything like that. And I kind of thought, Lions spend their time doing for others, serving others all the time. That's what we're doing. That's what we're thinking. That's what's in our heart. And I thought, we need to also take care of our own, and I called it our own pride of Lions. We need to be aware of what's going on with our Lions, only if they want to share with you. If they don't want to share with you, that's fine. But if somebody's ill, we send great Lion's Paw cards. We send sympathy cards. We send congratulatory cards if a grandkid just did something great. And we've invested in these with the printing group down there across from Wendy's there. What's the name of that? On West Avenue. But they make wonderful cards. They got the logo. You don't have to redo it. This is also, we redesigned our acknowledgement for contribution to site conservation when people pass or just want to honor someone. We have these as our thank you notes. Always thank people for what they're giving your club too. We have get well cards. We buy these from International. They're kind of expensive, but then we also had blank ones made up and we write our own message on it. And we have sympathy cards too. We also had them, talking about them as a printer, do our programs for our 100th anniversary, which we celebrated. We had to celebrate it October 9th. It's really May 7th, we're 102 years old. So they do a nice job for the Lions Club, FYI. As we go through here, decorate your tables every meeting. I always have a centerpiece on the table. It's just something simple like one of these cheap, you pick up at the garage sale, one of these. And if it's, as it is currently springtime, of course, we're the daffodil planters along with several of the clubs that are in here too. Every table will just have something simple on it like that, just to dress it up. My Lions irritate me because they take it right down because they can't see across the table. So we have a constant battle going on. But sorry. And also, this is season-wise, like the geraniums go in the summer, and these flowers I get at the dollar store, and you got your Lions colors, the blue, the purple, the yellow. You can do it seasonally, and you got the orange for the fall. But today, I want every one of you to go home with an American flag, because you, I'm sure, have a flag out. That's kind of required. But I will also take flags and put them in these. Like if it's President's Day or any national holiday coming up, I'll put flags right in these centerpieces. So I want everyone to have a flag here. Thank you. With American flag. We are great. You have one? Okay. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you. You are welcome. Yep, most welcome. Thank you. And sure, okay. Okay. Okay, yeah. You have two over there. Okay, very good. So I'm the great shopper at the dollar store, which isn't $1 anymore, it's $1.25, isn't it? So you have to figure that in. But that's okay. They have great things. They can you can get great ideas there too. Also, I get these at the dollar store. Thanksgiving, we have a turkey on every table that we're eating at. We meet at the Manor House. We're very fortunate because our first president was Harry Sparks, who was son of Captain Sparks and Jackson, the industrialist. And they built that house. And so it's really special to us. We call it our home. So anyway, every table, depending on whether it's Halloween, whatever holiday's coming up, has something on it, usually every Monday. Lions are singing clubs, aren't they? We're known for our singing. Look at Jim Baum. You were at the convention, we were singing again, weren't we? And we sing a lot at Jackson Host, don't we, Kelly? We sing to the daffodils. Those are our daffodils out there, and so I'm always writing these little ditties. This is to, the daffodil song is written to Old Tannenbaum. And it goes like this. Oh daffodil, how long we've waited for you. And we've got the window at the drift that we planted. Oh daffodil, it's time to show your face. 6 months have passed since we last met. We dug your drift and dropped you in. Oh daffodil, oh yellow friend, your lions, what do? Roar for you. And we sing that right in front of our guests and everything. And they get a kick out of that. The lions singing, there's another little tail twister thing. And we sing happy birthday, whoever's got any birthdays this week in here? Nope. So I have my tail on. I grab it and swing it around my head. You see me do that, and we sing happy birthday to the lions. Or they've got a birthday coming up that week. Taking care of your pride, okay? Looking out for them. So this is just a little grab and go thing. Oh yeah. Yeah, I haven't done that. I think I'll do that now. As we look at our agenda here today, twisting and taming, and also about I jump around a lot because there's so much. I mean, I think, oh my gosh, I gotta tell them all this and I only have 45 minutes to do it. But popcorn, I many times will just bring that in and open a big bag and just pour it on the top of each table. The lions love it. Manor House isn't real thrilled when I bring in the peanuts in the shop. Oh, I said, it's not the brown hot, Chris. But they like stuff like that, having a little surprise. Halloween, they'll get a little trick or treat. Valentine's, they'll get a little piece of chocolate. You know, keep that in mind. Ask your club if there's a budget. Is there a little tail twister budget for you? If there isn't, ask them if they would consider making a little budget. I haven't asked for a budget, but they're real good about reimbursing bigger cost items. Mostly though, I just pay for it out of pocket. And then I have a collection up the wazoo of stuff. So twisting and taming here. We've welcomed, we've met each other, our twisters and tamers, we know what we're doing. And our objective tonight is to learn some new things, learn what we can take back to our club to make it a better club, and to share with each other. As we move down here, I didn't introduce myself, but I'm Chris Lake from Jackson Host Lions. This is my 17th year as a Lion. And the history of the club, you've all got your own history, but the history of taming is very important. A club, I really marvel at how Lions was organized from the beginning. Who thought about having somebody in charge of the paraphernalia? Who thought to think that through? We've got flags, we got all kinds of things, we got bells. Some clubs get into funny things about stealing each other's bell. Have you ever heard of that? There's lots of funny things that can go on. But somebody thought that process through. And so a lion tamer, again, hands up if you're gonna be taming. Lion taming isn't a tough job. What's significant about it is you've got to be there every week. If you can't, there should be an assistant tamer or someone you contacted to take your role, because you can't just not be there. That disrupts the whole flow of the meeting, because your job is to get there early, to be there, get there early, and get out the flags, the American flag, see the podium or whatever, however your place is set up, all the things, the equipment needed to make your meeting run smooth, so nobody even knows really that you're there if you're doing a good job. But then you've got to stay in what?
Take it
Clean up, yeah, take it down, put it away, keep track of your Lions equipment. it's costly, so you gotta watch out for it, take good care of it. And also help train other people up, you know, say, come on and help me today, I'll show you how to do this. And usually, every site has a place where they'll let you store something. Maybe you're not lucky enough to have that. Is there anybody here that has to haul their stuff all the time? You do, okay, okay. And the flag and everything, huh? Oh my gosh, yeah.
Well, there's a flag every place we go,
There is,
but we have to haul the banner
yeah, the banner, yeah,
and the bell.
and the bell, and the whacker, right? Yeah. The whacker. Okay, all right, each club is different. So, but that's the history. The importance of doing that is having the club ready to go so they can achieve what they need to achieve in that hour's time. And then as we move through the expectations, we just talked about that of what the tamer has to do each week and the responsibilities of the club's property and care. Now, if you will look through the next page, I'm gonna jump in here. This is very important, the Lions Code of Ethics. This is another wonderful document to guide us. I'll tell you, if there's ever a question, go to this. If there's ever a question about, that doesn't seem right, go to this. It's like going to the Bible, that's what it is. And it's right there. And I think in this day and age, it's really important to remember that we're here to aid our fellow mankind by giving sympathy to those in distress, my aid to the weak, and my substance to the needy. And always bear in mind your obligations as a citizen to your nation, your state, and your community. What Lions does is so far above, should be so far above the mundane of the talking about people, talking at people, and all that sort of thing. It's so much higher than that. And that keeps your club in good standing. And hold friendship as an end, not a means. And there was a time when my dad joined, it was kind of businessmen that joined. It was before women were allowed. So they kind of connected with each other with their businesses, supported each other with that sort of thing. It can still be like that too, but it's moved a little bit away from that, I think. It says here, remember that in building up my business, it is not necessary to tear down another's. So this is all good stuff to think about. Be loyal to my clients or customers and true to myself. Okay, as we move through here, there's one page only needed for lion tamers on your duties and responsibilities. And we won't read through that. It's very simple, very plain, very easy to do, and what you need to take care of and how you do that. But I did put in there, because I think these kind of checklists are pretty good to have. And you can keep that in your folder. This is the Lion Tamer's tasks. What do I have to do every Monday when I get to Lions, okay? Be there early, get out this, and this. Put this and this away. And so you got it there, in case you forget, or in case you're not there and somebody's subbing in for you. So there's just a nice checklist for you as we move through this. Then we move into Twister stuff. So as we come back here, who has been a tamer before in here? Do you have any good advice, Roger? Your best advice?
Have a location that gets it out for you.
Oh, yeah, okay, nice, okay. So
Or-
where you meet gets it out for you, right?
Right. The last two places we've met, they get the stuff out for us. We have to put it away, but
They actually
it's-
set it up.
right, they actually
How'd
set
you
it
do
up.
that? You pay them?
No,
You
they
give them
just,
popcorn?
no.
No? Wow, that's
Did
something.
you send them a card?
Oh, well, we thank them every week. Yeah, every meeting.
That's Roger's best advice. Well, we wouldn't be lucky with that with Jackson Holes. We haul our stuff and take it down. Anybody else? Tamer, Johnson, anything to add to that? Any advice for any of the?
Be early.
Be early, be early. So there's no mishaps. It's done ahead of time because your president's coming in and wants to run a smooth ship, okay? And so everything's got to be done and set up, ready to go. Okay, good. So basically a day in the life,
Okay,
a day in
Chris,
the life of a lion tamer as I said, is pretty simple. Be there early, fill out your check sheet there, and that should help you sail right along. Any questions on lion taming? What's some of the paraphernalia you have to set up? Your banner, flag, American flag, a bell, do you have a bell? Usually a bell to start the meeting, something,
Gavel.
a gavel, yeah,
Microphone.
microphone, yeah. Now, there's something else, not all tamers know.
Computer.
They are also sergeant at arms. Did you know that? It's listed right in the Lions history. That means if you have a speaker and you got some lions, they're supposed to get up and go over and say, "Barb, that's enough." And if Barb keeps talking, they come to me, the twister, and I issue a fine. I can do that. I don't, I haven't yet. We've got a couple of yakkers. Dr. Ed Mattine likes to yak. And Tom Heikkinen likes to yak. And so anyway, we're shushing them all the time, but it's rude to your speaker to have that stuff going on. So keep in mind that the tamer is the one that controls that, controls the environment in the room so that you don't have a speaker or a potential future member going away saying, "Boy, that's kind of a rude group. They talk when I'm there. I don't even know why I went." So you don't want that happening. You want to create a great impression that there's no better service club to belong to. Okay, now moving on to tail twister. As we look through our packet here, there are several, and I try to update these regularly. I don't find a lot some years, but there are several documents here dealing with tail twister information, stunts. Dr. Ed Mattine, I learned from him. He was tail twister at Jackson Holes for a long, long time. He's hilarious. If you've ever met the guy, he's a stunt man. He loves to put on skits. I'll never forget, he said, "Chris, we're gonna stage a horrible argument." He likes to do that. A terrible argument. I'm gonna yell at you and you're gonna yell at me and we're gonna threaten to knock each other's block off. And then you're gonna take a pair of scissors and cut my tie off. I said, "What? Cut your tie off? It's a beautiful tie." "No, it's an old tie, cut it off." And so things like that surprises the whole group. Oh my gosh. But you want to use an old beat up tie now because they're kind of expensive. So anyway, stunts. He's a great stunt person. And when he subs for me, he usually puts on a skit of some sort, which everyone, my dad used to come home and say, "You'll never know what Ed did today. You'll never guess." It was just hilarious. So that's good. So there's lots of information there. The next handout is the tail twister function and duties. Now, also, when you go to your board, if you need to get yourself in an advantageous place on the agenda, that's good for tail twisting, which means it's good for your club. Also ask your club, maybe you set up, do you have fines? How do your clubs work with fines? Do you even use fines? What do you use them for? How does it work? Do you know, you have any fines at your club?
Not lately, they have. Sometimes if they don't wear their badges or something.
Yeah,
you
that's
have
a
to
good,
pay a
thing
dollar.
to fine for, yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of. Well, if they ask you a question and you can't answer it, you pay.
Oh, if you can't answer it.
You won't answer.
Oh, you mean like a quiz of some sort?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
like they don't.
Oh, we have.
Yeah.
We have well-behaved ones, so we don't have a fine.
No fining. Kelly?
No, and we never had any problems.
Well, we really don't have a tail twister really in our
Yeah.
club, but I think a really great tail twisting thing is if like cell phone rings,
Oh.
especially if the district governor's talking.
Oh.
It's like a $20 fine,
Absolutely. How much?
20 at
$20
least.
fine? Wow, that's hefty.
At
That's
least.
boy, and you were gonna come Monday, we're gonna have to be, we'll be real careful.
I'm not coming.
I know.
You'll know that for next year.
Got it. Barb, fines in your club, how do you handle
I'm in the same club as Margie.
them? Oh,
but,
that's good, yeah.
Our tail twister goes around the room and asks everybody a question.
A question.
Or some kind of a thing, are you wearing your pin or whatever?
Yeah.
A lot of the questions come from the magazine that we get.
Yes, yes, yeah, those are good places. Are you reading your magazine? Yeah, that's good, that's good. Over here, anything to add here about how your clubs handle fines or whether you have fines or and how much they are?
No, I got it down.
You got it down?
I handle fines if they don't have their badge on.
Yeah,
I do that.
Yeah.
And also that if their cell phone rings, 25 cents,
that's,
which I caught
Uh,
the
yeah.
district governor's wife at a meeting. Her cell phone rang
Really?
during our meeting, and I said 25 cents,
that's all.
and they paid it.
There's inflation now,
It's a tough
more
one.
money.
Yeah.
My club typically just looks for badges and pins.
Badges and pins.
Yes.
That's okay, that's a good place to start. How about you?
Oh, I'm with her.
You're with her, okay.
Yeah, that's the only one we
You're
do.
with- Okay, gotcha, all right, okay, okay, fine.
That's, I'm writing it down right now.
But Jackson
That was
Post,
like- That's what. she was talking
when
about.
I went to my tail twister training, which was right here at this school about 12 years ago, we were told, go to your board and ask the board how they want to handle fines, and then ask them what's the limit, what they would like to stay at. The board makes that decision, and then you take it back and use it as you need. Don't just arbitrarily do that. Our club has always had this thing where we have an actual chamber pot. It's orange, a chamber pot. And whoever's the twister takes the chamber pot around, just sets it on the table, goes around the table, and everybody throws in 25 cents every week. Now, what it does is go to support the things I do. You know, a little bit of money like that, we might end up with $100 and some at the end of the year, close to 200 maybe. And so it can be used for that. I changed it this year. The club said, yeah, 25 cents. And people questioned, what's the 25 cents for? And they always like to do that just to bug me. I said, you know what it's for. It's for nothing. It's just toss it in. Yes,
Our club also does a happy dollar, go around the
happy
room,
buck,
and
yeah.
everybody gets a chance to say
Yeah.
something,
We
like
do
my
that.
granddaughter graduated from high school.
Very
I
good.
put in $1.
Yep, very good. All good things happening, put in a happy buck. People love to do that. And then I will say, like our president's son graduated from U of M this last weekend. I got a happy buck because I said, that's it, $1 for college graduation?
Probably only stuff
Trying to
out.
shave him. But, yeah, so what I did, I changed it up this year because we got lazy people when it comes to the badges and the pins. And, I said, all right, here's how it's gonna go. Nobody has to pay a quarter unless you don't have your pin on. So you only pay if you don't have your pin on. So I'm not making as much money when they're wearing their pins. So that worked out okay. So that's how it kind of goes with fines. There's also some rules too. Kelly, tell us the rules as to who can fine the tail twister. Nobody in the club can touch the tail twister. Except if you came to visit.
Oh, the district governor can?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
The district
interesting.
governor.
I did
Did
not
we
know
drop the
that.
ball in your training down there?
I didn't have any training, sorry.
Yes.
I did not know that.
You
You still got a
actually
couple of
can
months.
find the
Yeah.
tail twister.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'll remember that. When am I coming to your house?
We forgot. Dr. Ed and I made a big mistake one time, or if the tail twister is not in the room. That's the other thing, the club. So Dr. Ed and I had our new tails on, so we went out in the entryway, got our tails on, because we were gonna parade in with them. Well, we were gone, some smart lion, Mike Brown, knew the rule, and when we came back in, we both had to pay a fine because both twisters were out of the room. So that's the other way, so, other than that, the tail twister's untouchable, okay? That's cool. Okay,
That's why I came to training to learn.
yeah. So I have a little thank you there to Dr. Ed, just because of who he's been with our club and what he's done. And here's a picture of him and his antics on St. Patrick's Day. He is just incorrigible. And when he's right, he just finished his round of bringing in the speakers for the month of April. And when he makes an introduction, the speaker is just roaring almost on the floor because he tells all kinds of lies. And then we enjoy it too. He makes a fun introduction for everybody. But that's our Dr. Ed, so that's just some of the stuff he does. Also in the packet here, Jackson Host sold 100,000 pounds of grapefruit and oranges way back when, 100,000 pounds. And here, this is what this is, it's kind of a dark copy. But he's got, he was a Navy commander in the war. So he had oranges as epaulets on his shoulders. But 100,000 pounds, it's just amazing. So he's and we still have that lion's head, that's the one I wore at the convention. We still have that.
I've been in that head too.
You've been in it. Yeah, it's quite, it's an amazing costume, it really is.
Seeing it, right?
Now, what I'm gonna do now is take you on a little tour of some things here. Being a tail twister, like I said, think outside the box. I always, and my family knows this, I love animals. And I always used to think, it's so cool to have a tail, to really live life with a tail. They're so cool. You can snap them around. People catch them though, if they're trying to catch you. That's how I catch my cat. I grab her tail. But I always thought tails were amazing. Don't you like Wally's tail? I bet Wally likes his tail. Well, I love my tail. And since I couldn't have a real tail, I've got this. And I wear this every Monday as district tail twister. I'm also the district tail twister. Since Barry Allen asked me the fatal question many years ago, you know, I just realized we don't have a district tail twister and other districts do. Will you be it? So, okay. So, but I really love doing that. It's fun. And so you just gotta watch, you gotta know where your tail is at all times because you don't want to trick people. It just kind of, I always know where it's at and I'm snapping it out of the way. And when I retired from Western, I took one of the football flag belts. I knew they'd never miss it, but it's a great belt. So that's my tail and I have two of them. And it's a lot of fun. But you can buy, I've got some short tails too. You can just tuck in the back. You don't have to have a tail. You got a hat too. So, but remember, you need to be a standout in your club. Hats, we have all kinds of hats. Usually Dr. Ed comes to this workshop and he has, I think, an entire room in his house devoted to costumes and hats. It's just unbelievable. But he usually brings his hats in and the hats would cover 3 rows of chairs here. There's so many different ones. I brought some of mine and this is a wizard hat we use every now and then. These are pretty cool. I got these at Target last year. And they're kind of neat, you can see, and they're not too hot. So I bought these. Again, this is out of pocket for me. Your club might be able to pick up one. I think they were like $15, something like that. These I saw online. Oh, I need that. And then there was this multicolored one. What is that? You have to look kind of close, but it's a lion face. Can you see it? It's got an eye. Always looking for things. When kids come, sometimes kids come, something for them. I think here, as we move through the holidays, our club loves to have a family Christmas party. How many people have been to our family Christmas party? Yeah, it's great. It's just, it's a happy time. And we go all out, we have Santa, we decorate, and we have a hot cocoa bar. And I took this from the movie, The Polar Express, hot chocolate, never ever let it cool. That's the sign that's on the hot cocoa bar. And we have a Christmas tree. And prior to that, we are, of course, ringing the bell. How many of you are ringing bells for the Salvation Army? Getting your club to do that, it's a great thing to do. But I went back to Hot Joe and Fried Dough, World War II. Picture in New York City of a little kid dropping money in the red kettle. And so I tried to make, now that's unheard of. I tried to make a cool sign-up sheet. If you just put out a piece of notebook paper with a pencil-in title, it's not too exciting, but try to make your sign-up sheets fun. This is our Christmas sign-up sheet here.
5-minute warning.
It's so big, they can't ignore it, you know? And
5-minute warning.
Yep. No, 12. I'm taking 12. Okay. And so and then this is our golf outing that we have in September. Make it fun for them to sign up, you know? We go to Sharp Park, we use the city, I got them to move from a county golf course to the city golf course. We're a city club. We should be supporting our city businesses. Always support local if you can. So we moved from, I don't know if it's Hinkert Hills into Sharp Park. That's where we have our fall golf outing, just for our club every fall. We also, signage is important, getting your name out there, really promoting your club. These are the signs we put on the Denton Road Bridge. We're the ones that decorate for Christmas there with the greens and the red bows and around the falls. These signs are real inexpensive and advertise local business here in town. We put the pumpkins on the bridge. Again, this was only $15 for the sign, so really reasonable. And again, the holidays, you see this incorporated into your decoration for the day you're having your meeting. And birthdays. Everybody's going with a birthday hat. Do you want gold or what would you like?
I'll take those.
Which one would you like? With the gold. Okay, birthday, celebrate your birthday. Okay. There you go. Okay, I'm gonna pass these around. You take the color you want back to your club, and for heaven's sake, use it. Now, other things too. I'm always looking for, look, socks with lion heads on them. Look at that. You know, goofy things. You have to stand out. Be different. Don't afraid to be different. And at our Christmas party, because it's a family Christmas party, there's a lot of grandkids and kids there, sometimes 30 or 40. So we always have drawings. The kids don't have to pay for the ticket, they just get a ticket. But every prize that's winnable is some kind of lion in some way, shape, or form. So the kids are always thinking lions from the time they're little. So these, I find these Target, after Christmas is over, marked down dirt cheap. Lions are kind of prevalent if you pay attention, they're out there. This is a good way to collect funds. This was given to me by last year's district governor. Remember that big hand? A big hand, yep.
So it's a lot right now, I need some money.
Pretty cool, yeah. Yeah, so, okay, now, as we move along here, do you ever have trouble getting the attention of your club? $1 for 2. Anybody like one of these to take home? No, they're great, they drive people crazy. Yeah. Gold, silver, the gold to make sure that. Yeah. Oh! What's this one? Yeah.
I have some kind of kids there.
Yeah. Wow. Now, now, when your president starts member introductions, what do they do? What do they say? Member introductions.
Like new member or?
No, just, yeah, aren't you supposed to introduce yourself every week?
No.
No? Is that a law, Kelly?
I've been to clubs that do it and clubs that don't.
Oh, really?
It disappoints me.
Oh, well, if the governor's disappointed, you better shoot off, okay? Yeah, we always, after the song, the pledge, and the invocation is member introduction. And you stand up and say, Lion, Chris Lake, Tail Twister, causer of all chaos at Jackson Hole and sit down. That's what I do. But here's a fun thing you can do. Like, these are fresh clementines I just got yesterday. Now, Barb, get ready.
Oh, I can't catch.
I'm sure. You can catch. You can keep it. All right.
I'll give it a
Okay,
shot.
so you might,
At least
as a
somebody's
tail
behind
twister,
you.
you might help out the president and say, okay, start the member introductions, and wherever the orange goes, you start.
Hey, I'm Brent,
And then you
Lion
pass,
Brent.
then you pass it to the next one.
All right, and going over to you.
So that's the way you do that, yeah. There you go. And you're gonna find all hints in here. That's why you have handouts, because there's not time to go over all these fun things, but they're there. The thing I also want to stress with you is reporting your service hours. It is so important, because that tells a story about your club. It tells how active they are, the good that they're doing. So I hope you're all doing that. And also, how many of you have phones that can take pictures? Okay, have your phone, whenever you're anywhere Lion, I really got after my president a week ago, because we went to Rochester, I couldn't go, to the dog, the leader dog place.
Oh, me neither. I was so
And I
sad.
said, all right, where are your pictures that you took? Oh, we forgot. You know, so we missed out on these pictures to go in the.
I got some of them.
Did you get some? Yeah, so always be taking pictures for your club, and then get them into the person that's writing your newsletter. We have a weekly newsletter, do you? No? Okay, we do. It's called The Cub, capital C, capital U, capital B. And we detail everything that happened. I take pictures of the lunch. That's my favorite part of the meeting, the lunch. And so we have a fun club, we really do. A newsletter editor. How many clubs have that? 2 of them do, okay. That's a great way to keep your club. It can be start out real simple, just a 1-pager. We have something called Welcome by the President. Then the president speaks, just as announcements. And then we've added in table talk, which is the funny things going on at each table. We have Marilyn Waite in our club, 96 years old, and she's becoming the fashionista of our club. So I try to get a shot of her new shoes and her hats and everything. So that's table talk. And then I started a new column this year called Where in the World is a Tail Twister? And I go around Jackson and I take pictures of places. My tail might be in the picture, it might not. And then the Lions have to guess where I was, and then I have just a little prize for them. They haven't been able to guess this last one for 2 weeks now. It's right downtown Jackson. The address is 145, and there's a huge lion statue sitting there. They can't find it.
Library.
No, it's not. That would be Chicago.
Chris, we need to wind it down.
We gotta go?
Yep.
Okay, so, all right, I'm gonna listen to you, not Miss Cohen. So would you please, thank you for coming today. There's so much to talk about. I hope that you got a feel for what tail twisting is about. Any questions?
Can I just take a couple pictures of your sign up sheet?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And please, you're supposed to fill out evaluation sheets too. They give those to you, Roger?
We had them at the registration,
Okay,
so I'm not
okay.
sure.
And I thank you all for coming. Thank you so much and good luck with your classes.
Excellent twisting. I need some help from some of the other tail twisters in here. All right. Have we got that recording online, Roger?
We sure do.
All right. Welcome, District B1 Lions. My name is Lion Brent. I'm from Ashley, Michigan. That's in District 11C2. So about 35 miles north of Lansing.
Thanks for being here.
You're very welcome. I want you to know that I'm in my last year as the multiple district global membership chairperson. So I've had the opportunity to work with great Lions throughout the entire state of Michigan for the last 3 years as it pertains to membership. Now, you all know that membership is different in each club, each district, different in each zone. And what we're going to do today, if you will, is have a conversation about what membership means to you and your club. Because since it is so different, I want to talk a little bit about everything, but I also want to be sure to cover the exact topic that you would like to hear about as we go on about membership. And I've got lots of ideas, lots of neat things. So just about any conflict that you may end up with membership, I likely have dealt with it in the last 3 years. Okay, now I understand that you're currently sitting in your district just under 1,000 Lions, and your current governor may have her eyeball set to be the next Esther Lamothe of your district. Governor, you would be great, but let's keep the work going. Let's keep working on ourselves. Lion Esther,
150.
you're a fantastic mentor. We appreciate it. So
964, just like.
964, and you were at 990 at the start of the year.
And they died.
So we've got to get that into a positive. Okay, so like I said, I don't really use the PowerPoint slides too much, other than it's something for you to look at if you get tired of looking at me. And so I actually wore this hat from the earlier tail twisting session, just so that give you something more to look at other than this face. When we're talking about membership nowadays and service in general, we're talking about the global membership, the GMA. Not global membership. Why does it zap out on me?
Is there a way to make that like brighter or something?
You know, other than just turning the light itself on, let's see what this looks like, okay?
Oh, much, a little better.
Okay, and like I said, this stuff is pretty, not that important, okay?
Oh, okay.
It's just, it gives me something to point to and talk about. By the end of our session, I'm gonna go through and talk about the top things that you should be doing as a membership chair. If you're a membership chair in the club, how many new membership chairs are we gonna have in this room for our club? Anybody gonna be a membership chair in their club? No? All just good, fantastic Lions that love to bring in new members?
Right.
That's all.
How many, do I have anybody like me that just feels uncomfortable with that recruiting side? Yeah? Yeah,
I wanna know,
okay.
I wanna know more about it, how to do it.
Yeah. So, when it comes to folks that are uncomfortable recruiting, usually it's because you don't really know how to express how much fun you have on it. Okay, now I don't know about your clubs, but there for a time in my own club, we had some interesting things going on, and I wasn't really feeling that great about bringing in a new member in to sit and see that, because we were having boring, just disorganized, chaotic meetings that really, when we left our meetings sometimes with question marks in our mind, what just happened? Okay, and so what we really needed to do was take a look at one of the other legs, which is our leadership, and really bring it into, let's get our clubs to have fantastic meetings that we are excited to bring our prospective members to. I love to bring my friends, and I'll try to stop stepping in front of that. But anyways, we've got to revitalize our club with new fellowship and service opportunities. How many clubs do we have here that have done a new service opportunity in the last 2 years? Something that's been very different. What would that be? You don't know.
Go ahead and tell me.
Which one?
Just any new service project that you did this in the last couple
Well,
of
it's
years?
all new to me, because I'm a brand new.
You're a brand new
member, so-
one. Okay, okay.
Those 44 little kindergartners or pre-kindergartners were pretty exciting.
Okay, what, now, did you
Kids
invite
site.
them?
Kids site.
Okay, you did a kids site screening.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great service project. Any other new service projects? Yes, sir.
They're Battle Creek, a couple things. They have the balloon festival every year, and we did a lion that stepped up and got in touch with them, and we were able to staff a relief table for their run that they had, that 5K run that they have. And so, and then we actually got paid to do that.
Okay, so your Lions were out doing an aid station for a run.
Yeah, and then that same Lion brought in, got the people that run the LPGA golf tournament or whatever in Battle Creek, and we can staff those tables, and all the money that from that goes to the food bank there. in Southern Michigan Food Bank.
And that's a
So
brand new
that's something
service
she
project.
Stepped up and, yep, and that was something they had done before. So we did it last year, we're gonna do it again this year.
Like that idea. Now, how many, did you invite any non-Lions to come help?
It's always out there.
It's always out there?
Invite, you
Okay.
know, I think she did, you know, or we try to do that with all our service projects, you know, bring friends. Try to encourage that.
Lion Barb, you had your hand up as well for something new.
Well, actually, I was thinking of fundraising instead of service, because we just did the bowling tournament where you were such an outstanding bowler.
My goodness, did I had some fun that day. And I know I was supposed to wear some special kisses and phone numbers and stuff since Lion Esther's here, but I forgot.
I told you I was gonna be checking.
I know, yep, and it's going in them notes. Okay, so revitalizing your club with new fellowship and service opportunities is the key to bringing in new members. Now, you're a brand new member to Lions Club. What brought you in? What was it that that club did to get your interest?
Well, I tried, went to a couple of the area, the Lions clubs that were around me.
Okay.
But I think with the Cascade Lions, food was my.
Okay, so
I definitely enjoyed having a meal and being able to talk during that meal and kind
do
of.
they also provide some entertainment in the Cascade Lions?
Well, we have, speakers and,
Okay, yeah.
definitely, yeah.
Okay,
but-
so food.
Food,
For
yeah.
you, now, are there any Lions here that have a food allergy or something that prevents you from eating at your dinners at all? No, okay, I've not had a group that hasn't had one, so you're a first, congratulations. We've got with diabetes being one of our global causes now, it's amazing how many members, just with what we've done in the last couple of years, have found that they may be pre-diabetic, or like me, stumbled right into type 2 diabetes. And I can still work on my diet to get that under control, but I have to say no to a lot of sweets at my club meetings. And there are clubs out there who have went to a diabetic friendly meal and they've attracted new members because of that. So it's not always just what kind of entertainment you have. Sometimes it is the food. And if a person sees value in being able to how many people have all their meals included in their dues. Okay, so no Lions clubs here charge for meals until you're there sitting and getting one, right?
My old club did.
Okay.
Yeah. Saigon, we did that.
My club, we have meals, so essentially you pay a certain amount and your meals are covered for the entire year. We also, now because of the diets, we offer a no meal membership. So we have 2 different membership levels. You can be a member of my club, never have to come and eat, you're always welcome there. But then it's 7 o'clock when we start the meeting. You're there to enjoy the meeting. You don't have to eat. You don't have to pay for someone else's meal either. So that was a way that our club changed. I guess you could say it was our leadership development. Okay, so we've got 4 different areas here that help, and that's part of the global membership approach. There's what that A meant. Revitalize the club, excel in leadership development. Okay, so we had to get our president to move our meals to a different, to be served a different way. And we have a meeting now that that doesn't have a meal. Okay, rejuvenate your club with new members. Now, this is the one where we get to talk about, how is it that you invite new members into your club? Who's got the newest member? Okay, so is there anybody in here brought in a new member in the last month? Okay. What did you do to bring in that new member? And that's okay, don't worry about that, we'll get to sleeping later. What did you do to bring in that new member, if you don't mind sharing with us?
Well, she was a coworker and an old friend of mine. And we happened to kind of like reunite in the grocery store. And we talked about some of the things that we were doing, since we retired and all that stuff. And she is extremely busy. So I said, wow, you've got a full plate. Can you add something else to it? And she said, girl, what? And I began to tell her about the Lions Club that was a new club. And we were a pretty exciting group, I thought, I think. And I told her a little bit about us, and she said, I would love to do that. She said, I love service projects. And she said, I would love to do that. And she's here with me now.
All right. Welcome. And all you did was ask, right?
Yes,
That's right.
Amazing. So the Just Ask manual, I'm going to email that to you all. So if you all haven't signed in somewhere, just know this. I don't come with a lot of handouts because I find them distracting. I come with a PowerPoint that doesn't mean a whole lot, but what I do is I email you a lot of materials after, especially the stuff that you find most important. And then for those who don't have internet access, Lion Roger has some of those printed materials. You just need to request them, okay? And we'll get that. But just asking. So it's a matter, she's proud of her club. She knows that that when she's out in the public, probably wearing a Lions pen, I wear mine 24/7. So you got a spot on my jams. If I'm not wearing my actual Lion jams. But it's amazing how many people will just, you'll see them just kind of look at that. They won't actually ask because nobody asks anymore. They're afraid to offend someone. I see them look and I say, that's my Lions pen. Have you heard of Lions clubs? And if they have, I say, have you been to your local Lions club meeting? If they say no, I say, why don't you give it a chance? If you'd like, if I'm in town, I'll take you there. Okay. If I'm with friends that I'm around, because they all like to make fun of me as much that I'm doing with Lions and other, because I just love the Lions International. The way that my community is impacted, and then the way, and this is even more important, the way that my little club just does a little, and the ripples that can go out all the way around the world. It's just magical. And I don't think that any other club or any other service organization has what we have as Lions. And so I'm always proud to talk about it. And I keep it simple. How many people have heard of an elevator speech? Okay. Do you have a good one? Do you have one?
I just took the class.
Just took the class, okay, yeah, I'm not gonna put you on the spot, okay? I just, sometimes somebody's got one and they just were dying to belt it out. And if there was one of those folks in here, I was gonna let you have your day in the sun and the spotlight. Mine's simple. I'm Lion, I help change people's lives every day. I go to bed every night knowing that I made a difference. You ever thought about serving in your own community? And then they say yes or no, and we're having a conversation. So that one's kind of easy. I help people change their lives every day. I'm a Lion. Can everybody do that? I'm gonna have you kind of repeat after me. I help people change their lives every day.
I help people change their lives every day.
Yeah. and it just feels so good. That's all you need right there, to make people's lives better, to change people's lives. I'm a Lion. We're professional volunteers. Okay. Okay, so we've rejuvenated the club with some new members by just asking. Sharing your club's achievements with the community. This is another, so how many of you Lions are from clubs that really just get together, have dinner, and then go home? Not really involved with the community so much, maybe write a lot of checks. Still important, but don't necessarily get out with people. Any clubs like that here? Doesn't sound like it. Okay, so a lot of times our clubs become invisible or irrelevant to the communities that they serve because I'll use my club as an example again. At first, when I first joined, I was in my 30s. And as I looked at all the members in my club who were 70, they all joined in their 30s, but they didn't get their kids involved. And when I asked them why, they already had told themselves no because they thought their kids were too busy. And they didn't think that they were that busy when they were 30, but their kids sure are now. And it's just, I don't believe it's true. Yeah, I believe that people's time commitments are different now. So our younger generation wants to be at every kids and grandkids ball game, recital, all that stuff's important. But you can also be involved in service too, which feeds your heart. That's the important part when I'm talking to folks about joining the Lions or in our organization is we're going to be taking care of our hearts. Something that as a member you can do on weekends. You don't necessarily need to be at every dinner meeting, but when the club president or the social or the activities chair puts out a message, hey, we need folks at the local park to help clean up from 10 to noon on Saturday, they're going to be there. They're going to bring their kids along. And whenever your club is doing a service project such as that, you should invite the community. When you invite the community to partner with you, you're actually giving them a chance to see what being a Lion is all about, to have that fun and to feel the heart when they've done something good. Or it may be just as simple as having another child come with you that you get to talk to a little bit while you're cleaning up those blow away Walmart bags off of the fence on the east side of the field. Okay, there's just so many ways that you can touch the public when you're in service. And then invite this young person's mom to come to your next meeting or to come to your next service project. See, the folks that are coming to your service projects and helping out, they're the ones that are likely going to be your next members. And as we're in this, I'll call it a transitionary period, where we're between our first 100 years and our second 100 years, there's this spot in the middle, it's quite uncomfortable. Yeah, we're in that period of change. Change is always challenging, but it is something that can be overcome with patience. Okay, we have to be patient and understand that for some of our clubs, they've been doing the same thing for 50, 60, 80, 100 years. And they have made great things happen in that time. And they just want to do it their way. I honor that. And I want them to keep doing that for as long as they can. But I also want them to allow a new generation of Lions to come in and do service in their way. Okay, because the two ways are different. If you were in the first class in here with the tail twisting, they talked about a time before women were allowed in the Lions. So, which is still crazy to me that that was only in the late 80s that we started to allow women. And look at this room. Yeah. Me, Brian, Roger, the minority. Great things have been happening to our organization ever since women have become a part. But that was a transition that came with some growing pains, and we're going through some growing pains right now between traditional Lions clubs and a lot of the ways that they do things. They were fundraising. They are master fundraiser, our traditional full-time Lions clubs. Our new members want to do service. They want to go work with the organizations that our traditional clubs are writing checks to. And so if we can get some patience and understanding to allow a new generation of Lions to come in and start to do service and get out in the public and wear your Lions pin or your club shirt or your Lions vest. When you're doing service, you just your presence in the community will get some excitement built up for what's happening with your club. Okay, so it's a little bit of patience and understanding between traditional and new generation. How many new generation Lions do we have here? I'm one. Okay, a couple, yeah. Okay. Some traditional Lions, lots more, yeah. Okay, and we're all in the same room together, we did love. Congratulations, pat yourself on the back.
Brent, can I ask a question? Can I ask a question?
Absolutely.
All right, so you're bringing in members and you want younger members, and I always said that, you know, if the average age of your club is 65, you're looking for 55-year-olds, 55-year-olds look for 45-year-olds, and 30, which makes a nice blend.
Yes.
And we have clubs, and ours is one of them, where we have all of us that are in our 70s, and then we've got 2 people that are in their 30s. You know, we need more than 2 people. They work very well in our club, but how do we help them prosper and grow and become that group that wants to do service activities? Do we expect them to bring in members? Or is it our responsibility to go out and find other, quote, young people to bring into our club?
Okay, so these two that are, these younger folks that are in your club right now, they enjoy everything that they're doing with the traditional Lions.
They're taking on responsibilities, they're coming up with new ideas, which we support, which is really important.
That is super important.
So we support their ideas, and they've been very successful ideas, but they're still in the minority in our club.
Okay, so part of that, just as a suggestion, would be to ask these 2 new members, what is it that's holding you back from having your 2 best friends come join you? Is there something about the club that is holding you back from inviting your 2 best friends to come be a Lion with you? And if they can be honest with you, they will tell you right up front what exactly it is that they don't think their friends would be involved in.
I think they're already doing that, because they work, and our new members have come from our new members.
Okay.
Rather than the old guard.
Yes.
But I still feel like we have a responsibility. We that have been around a long time have a responsibility to help them be successful. Because quite frankly, in my club, when we go, I think the club is full.
Okay, I'm dealing with a club right now that is very similar. I'm gonna say their average age might be 70.
Right.
Might be a little more than that. They do, however, have a couple of younger members. Those younger members are very much looking for service to do. And their club only right now does wheelchair ramps for folks. And they're all too old to keep building wheelchair ramps. So they've kind of hit a wall. what we're doing is we're going to the traditional club with the idea, let's start a service branch. Okay, so we're just gonna start inviting new members to come into our club to just work on service. We want your newest service ideas, so they're now looking at working with the library, working with the senior citizen center, working with a teen space center. They have a hospital in their area that they can volunteer at. They're gonna be working a 5K race, just doing doing the table, providing refreshments for the runners. So, and those are all brand new things that this club has never done, and they're inviting their friends to come do service with them. While they're doing that service work, the members ask, hey, are you interested in doing this more? If they're interested, they give them an application, and I've got I'll try to bring it up at the end, but they're quite successful at getting folks who are interested in doing service, but are very much not interested in ever just sitting down in a meeting. Okay, so they the traditional club is going to invite them to their summer picnic and their Christmas party. But the rest of the year, the service branch, or some would call it a mug club branch, because they like to just meet, not on a certain day, but they all meet at a place and have a frosty mug of beer, figure out what service project they're gonna do next. They share that with the traditional club. They also invite the traditional club to come and do service with them at these new locations. So it's working for both. The traditional members are finding new ways to do service and having fun with the younger members. The younger members are getting exactly what they want. The community is breathing a breath of fresh air because they've been struggling for volunteers after the pandemic. Volunteerism, as much as everybody wants to, is happening not as much as people need. Schools can't find people to help during the day. A lot of sports, sports boosters can't find people to work, take tickets or do anything. People are just, no, they had their year at home and they liked it too much. So
are you saying it's the young people's responsibility to find their own additional core?
yes. Yes. And they should be led by the traditional members. You know, traditional members should prompt them, hey, what do you think you'd like to do? You know, trying to come up with better examples. You know, roadside cleanups, lots of environmental stuff, and I don't know what type of area, you know, your club is from, but if there's a boys and girls club or a Y, you know, there's just lots of ways to get involved with the community that way. If there's substance abuse, homeless, anything to do with those that are economically disadvantaged, and there's a lot of that happening right now. There's a lot of hunger. But your younger people are very much in tune with the environmental causes, the homelessness and hunger. And if you could just say, do you think there's something that we could do with this? And then listen. If they have an idea, just prompt them and say, you know, we're going to need about 4 or 5 more people. Do you have any ideas? Have them invite their friends to come help out with that next service project. When their friends are involved and it touches their heart, then invite them to a meeting.
Hey Brent, there's a question on the chat.
Okay.
And maybe you answered it. Why do people not want to volunteer as much after the pandemic?
You know, that's a good question, and I honestly, I don't have the answer to that. I have a feeling that folks got comfortable being alone and less, and it's taken a little bit more to break out of that shell again. I have faith that we will.
Mhm.
Yes, ma'am.
What if we want, like, because you keep talking about the service opportunities, so that's not necessarily, it's not fundraising, it's not, it's about going out to do stuff, but what about like when you have an hour, we're a women's club.
Okay.
And we have, say, I think 42 women in just our women's club, I don't know what the men have in theirs. And, you know, you've only got like 15 of us that even do the service, whether it be for a fundraiser, whether it be, you know, Easter bunny breakfast and, you know, whatnot. It's just us same people. What about the other, you know, 25 that you got as members that just keep writing the checks, pay their dues for God knows why if they're not gonna participate with stuff? You know, then what do you do about either getting them back involved so that maybe they can get more people besides themselves, even if they're not, if they're older and cannot volunteer anymore,
Yeah.
then like getting them back into the club so that you have more opportunity to try to raise the membership because they're there. Maybe they'll bring somebody with them. Or because like it's the same core group of people that are doing everything. And we do have some younger and some older and some are coming with new ideas or a different way to do things and stuff. But, you know, when there's, you know, you get a roster of 42 women and maybe 10 of us did the onion sales. And we sold a lot of onions, but what about everybody else that's already there, let alone bringing in?
Is there any other clubs here that can relate to that?
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah,
So it's like,
super common.
Club dynamics.
you
Yeah,
know,
there are some
I mean,
folks.
we got snowbirds too, and then, so now we're starting to see, like, we've just seen two or three at the last, cause we had mother-daughter night.
Will they come to that? Do they come to anything?
Those other 25, no.
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna get probably about 5 or 6 that were snowbirds that went away for the winter,
Yeah.
which, you know, you got that, right?
Mhm.
But it's like, you know, I mean, there's things that they could do. Something I've always said, which is what my parents taught me, you either have time or you have money. So if you have money, then you donate that, and if you have time, then you give your time. So like, okay, if they don't really wanna maybe go out in the community to do something, but we're also doing a bake sale, they can stay home and make, you know, 24 cookies and send them in, and then they participate in it.
Yes.
You know, I mean, they may not be standing there selling them, or they can't do the heat, or they can't do the cold to sell them, but they can make them and bring them in, and you don't even get that from these people that just keep writing their checks every 6 months to pay dues, and that's frustrating in itself. So if you don't have enough already in the club, go out and do all the service, then what?
So here's a couple of suggestions. So I would focus on your core group that is doing service, that is doing the work. And just continue to build that group, okay? Invite new members because there are folks that love to do what you know are doing. And these folks that really aren't doing that much, when they do participate, recognize them for that. And then also at some point during your year, recognize those who have done the service with something more than just a little pin. Really, you know, maybe kind of go big. LCI has a lot of, you know, the Lion of the Year type awards. If you could give somebody like that, it recognizes their service work, and it also, for the folks who aren't that interested in, gives them a carrot that they might want to start looking for. Because you really can never lead a horse to water.
So-
You can, but you can't make them drink.
Right, so what it like, all right, I was a co-chair for the onion sales. So could like, for the lioness that did participate, is it okay that, because now the onions just came in, so we're gonna go get them this weekend, and now we've got to distribute a lot of onions. And so like, as a co-chair, maybe I could get those 10 lioness that participated, some kind of little thing they could wear on their vest or something that, and just go, I wanna
Absolutely.
personally thank these lioness for
Yeah, especially if
participating.
it's something like an onion butt.
That's what I was thinking,
You know,
right,
that's super simple, cheap, creative, and gives recognition. And it's something that those other Lions can, you know, look at and
Presented at our
see.
meetings,
Yeah.
That's what,
make it a public.
that's what I was thinking.
And that was the making public and letting the community know what it is that your club is doing for service. So a lot of us do service in our communities and we get it done, we go home and we hide and we never talk about it. We need to blow it out on Facebook, put an ad in the paper or a service announcement about what you did. And let the community know what Lions are doing. Okay, so top priorities for every membership chair. I was brought in here to talk about the membership chairs, but I don't even have anybody that's gonna be a membership chair. So
Maybe they will.
I challenge you to take that as a look for next year,
Each of
okay?
us are membership chairs.
Well, yeah.
And truly, we
Is
are,
that what you mean?
sorry?
Like, I'm a 2-year director, is that what you mean?
So there's actually a position in your club that's fillable as a membership chair. There's also
Oh, that's what
a
we-
service chair, and then your
Yes.
first vice district, or your first vice president is typically your leadership
Yeah,
chair. But we develop a plan for growth, okay? And the way I like to tell clubs to do that is sometimes we hear so much about membership, it makes your head numb. So I point everybody to Club Excellence Award. How many of your clubs have qualified for the Club Excellence Award? Okay, a few. If you just, as a leadership or as a board member, if you can just impress upon your club to do the 4 things that are required to get club excellence, which is increase your membership, make a donation to LCIF, promote your club online, and train your leadership. If you do those 4 things, you qualify for the club leader or the club membership Club Excellence Award. And in turn, that gets everything moving in the right direction for your whole club.
We have a membership chair on the Zoom,
Okay,
Roberta Sexton.
Hi, Roberta.
hello. And did she have a question?
Hi, guys.
Okay, all right, so I get you, Roger. I know it took a second for it to go from this one to that one. Okay, we do have us a potential membership chair or a membership chair.
Yep, we do have one.
We've got one. All right.
Ours.
Keep up the great work. Review the Just Ask with the club, okay? That doesn't mean you just read it. If you're the membership chair, take it to your club, pass it around. Have them take a look. It changes, you know, every 6 months or so. Make a list of prospective members. I mean, you all have wonderful feelings that you get when you are doing service or when you provide glasses, when you find a child with the kid site screening camera that needs to have an issue addressed. You've done a great thing. Isn't it worthwhile to pass that along to your friends? You know, pass it along, a chance for them to, 5 minutes. Thank you, to invite a new member into our association that can get those same great feelings. I think so. Ensure new members receive orientation. How many members receive orientation in their club?
Roberta does ours.
Okay. So there's one club. Okay. So just, it's as simple as, you know, on Lions International, there is an orientation video. It's 3.5 minutes long. It basically tells your new member that they're of value to their own club and community, and that also there are positions above and beyond the club level. So many times, I spent 10 years thinking that mine was the only club in the world. I'm from a small town. We don't have any competition with Rotary, Kiwanis. We're the only club in town. I thought we were the only club in the world until someone stopped into our club and visited and say, hey, you ever think about being a zone chair? I had, what on earth is that? So, oh yeah, there's another club here and there's a club there. So I found out about other clubs and really enjoyed seeing the diversity that we have. So I've spent my time going around and enjoying everyone else's clubs.
One of the things we do for orientation is we call them mini orientations. We have about a list of 30, 40 topics, and a member signs up for a topic. Like, our local club, or Margie did the history of Lions, and somebody else did LCIF. And at a club meeting, once a month, that member talks about that topic, which also educates the member, because a member has to research to figure out what that is if they're not, didn't know. And it also orientates new people. It's a simple way of doing things. It doesn't take, you don't have to sit there for an hour and a half.
Yeah, and we all just learned that our tail twisters can be a big part of orientation as well.
Right.
So they can bring in a little bit of fun and a little bit of education.
Yeah.
So I've just been given the 5-minute warning. And so I'm gonna skip some of this. I'm gonna flick the lights on just slowly. Whoa, that wasn't slow. So in my club, every meeting is a membership drive. And every member, like Lioness had said, is involved in bringing in new members. When we have prospective members come to our meetings, our president, which is me, just tells a short story about what our club has done, the history of Lions, and then we keep, that Lions magazine everybody gets? Probably might have them all in a basket or you throw them away. Well, in our club, we send them all to me. And then in the middle of the Lions Pride, I put history of the Ashley Lions Club. I put the Lions 100 service project ideas in. We also put the explanation of our dues. So the 2 different levels of membership, if you'd like to come and hang out and tell stories and eat, it's this much. If you just want to have fun and serve the community, it's this much. That's in there, along with a membership application. So every single member gets the latest Lions Pride with all those things and a sincere, we're asking you to be a Lion. So they cannot walk away wondering if we meant, did they want to be a Lion? They know when they walk away that they have been sincerely asked to be a Lion. And then the key, because they're going to walk out and they're never coming back. You got to call them 3 days later. Somebody's job is to call that person 3 days later, ask them, hey, what did you think? We'd like to invite you back. And are you going to have that membership application filled out? And success so far, we're 4 years running as a Club Excellence Award. Okay, so our process is working and it can work for all of your clubs as well. So with that, I will stop talking and start taking questions if there are any until they put the hook. Pull me out of here. Yes, ma'am.
You said, what is the Lions 100, what?
It's Lions 100 service project ideas. Okay, that's one of those things that I'm going to send to you in an email. You won't get it?
Okay, but were we supposed to sign a sign-up sheet with our email addresses, or do you already have that?
There is one behind you, actually, so if you want to pass that around.
Okay.
Did that last time?
Yeah, so I've got
Yeah,
last
there's different
session, and you all know Lion Kathy Koenig. She maintains this list, and she's the one that I email to, and she will tell probably everyone that even if you're not in this class is going to get that. But you're definitely going to get it if you were in the tail twister class. Okay. All right, Lion Barb. Did you have another question? No? Did I see a hand? Okay.
I just got a couple
Yes.
comments here. Kind of both your clubs there where you've got older members and you've got newer members that are coming in. You know, kind of like you Brent, referred to, it's like, ask them or have a conversation rather than this is what we do in our club. You know, what would they like to do? You know, and because we get a lot of new ideas from all our new members coming in, they want to try this or they want to try that. So, you know, give it a whirl kind of both ways. And you also find that, okay, we're having a bake sale, you know, next Saturday, so here's the sign up sheet, so make sure everybody signs up on what they want to bring. And you're gonna get half the club for that, okay? But these people you don't hear from, you know, if I call up and, hey, Dorothy, we didn't see you at the meeting, but we're having a bake sale, can you make a couple dozen brownies for us? And they'll say, sure, you know, that, just a phone call out there, the contact is a whole lot better than, you know, some of the sign up sheets at the meetings and, you know, well, you know, or who wants to volunteer for this, and everybody kind of sits there. But if I go saying, hey, Brent, can you help us next week on a road cleanup, and, you know, it's 8 o'clock, and they'll say, yeah, I can be there, you know?
Yeah.
And so you find those little personal.
Gotta
phone
ask.
calls really help.
Yeah, and that's another thing for those members that don't always come. Call them. Just call them, and especially, you know, if it happens to be their birthday or whatever, call them and say, hey, we're recognizing it was your birthday this month, haven't seen you at a meeting in a while, and we miss you. Anything that you can do to make a person feel like welcomed and special is gonna make them want to keep coming around.
Yeah.
So Lions, we do it really good, and keep up the good work. All right,
And there's
Governor.
6 different clubs in here, 6 of them,
6 clubs.
that I should have your Club Excellence Award, because I know every single one of you have done everything you talked about. So make sure you get those forms into me.
Yeah, and I think those are due by August 15th, so
Club Excellence
they have to be
Award.
signed by the governor first.
That's always what.
Any other questions or comments? Any good ideas from any clubs that are here? Okay, maybe I'll come back next year. I want to hear some news stories. Okay?
Well, Brent, I want to thank you so much for coming down from Ashley
Yeah.
to speak to us tonight
I've
and
enjoyed
share
it
your
every
wisdom.
time. Every time I've been here, District V1 holds a spot in my heart, and you bowlers, so much.
All right.
Thanks, Zoomland. Appreciate you being here.
LU. BE.